we were talking earlier, and you mentioned when you started there was one other competitor.
Yes.
And you got this great story about the challenge you got from the competitor.
Yes.
So tell me about that and how you, as the CEO, dealt with that and how you overcame that.
Yeah, business and building companies is a competition. It's a game in many ways, right? And there's winners and there's losers. And at that time, back in 2021, 2022, there was so much because of low interest rate capital environment. There was so much funding, particularly for growth stage companies, and the focus for a lot of those investors at the time was about growth, right? The faster you grew, the more money you'd attract, the faster you would grow. And so it was this kind of perpetual cycle that you needed to be on that hamster wheel. Otherwise, if you weren't if you were growing slower than your competitor, you're not going to attract the dollars. Mm-hmm. And so at the time, we had a competitor that they raised a bunch of money, we raised a bunch of money. They were launching markets, we were launching markets, and it was intense. It reminded me actually of my Uber Lyft days. Mm-hmm. Uber and Lyft, yeah. Intense competitors. From when I was at Eats, it was like us and Skip the Dishes. Like mm-hmm. That was like the real competition. And so I love it. It also just fuels the team. You want to make sure that they know that you're competing, and you kind of vilify the competitor. I hate them. Turns out they're actually pretty nice guys. But I never met them until relatively recently. I'm like, hey, you're actually a nice guy, but your company, I hate you, right? Yeah. So that's the I think the spirit of it. And so it was just a very intense competition. And they called us and they said, look, like we're going to launch in your market, like now or never. And they were bigger than us at the time. And they're like, if you don't sell to us today, this is your last chance, like we're gonna come and crush you. And for me, that's just motivation. That's like, okay, well, let's go, right? Like you've put up a challenge, this will be fun. And we were raising money and the investors like, are you gonna win? Are they gonna win? Who's gonna be the ultimate winner? Because a lot of these marketplace businesses are winner take all, or winner take most at least. And so that was kind of the bulk of my 2021, and then shortly thereafter in 2023, they filed for bankruptcy, and so the answer of who was going to win, at least again, there's a lot more to do, and at least in that small microcosm of those couple of years, it was a nice victory, but again, that was something to hang your hat on, but maybe like now move forward.
Awesome, what a great story.